Sound check. Check one, check two.
Hey, Tania.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Do you know what I was thinking? And in fact, I didn't even ask you before the show to think, when was it that we first met?
That's a really good question because I don't know if we've ever met in person.
Well, that's bizarre because I feel like I've known you for a long time.
You have, and I'll tell you how.
How?
I used to teach, and this was many years ago when I was in my early 20s, so quite a long time ago now, at a singing studio called Leanne Hode.
Oh, Leanne Hode. Yes.
Yes. And she was great. She was such a pioneer in like running a singing studio at the time. She was phenomenal.
She was.
And she had this amazing training program that she used to put all of us teachers through to learn anatomy and all of that stuff. But she also talked so much about you.
Oh.
During that process. And I kind of came to know about you from Leanne, actually. So, that's how I came to follow you and know about you. But I don't know how we
how then did I know about you?
I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question.
Because you've been on my Facebook wall forever.
I've probably been stalking you, like, who knows?
Well, anyway, it feels like we know each other.
It does.
So
when we have a chat, which is nice.
So when I was doing I was sharing with you. I do reaction videos. They're analysis videos more than reaction. And I'd kind of known of Hindley Street Country Club off in my peripheral, right? And kind of go, oh, South Australia, that's cool. That's a cool sort of covers band kind of thing going on there. That's cool. Never really, I'll be honest with you, never really paid it much attention, and then what happened was there was it might have even been you who shared it, I don't know, a HSCC performance came up on my Facebook wall and I went, I know her.
Who is that face?
And there is Tania doing what ended up, when I dived into the video, it was very recently. It was the one that I sent you an email going, hey, great job.
Yes, thank you for that. That was lovely.
No problems, because it was a great job. And and I went, oh, wow, that's cool. And anyway, that took me down a deep dive of HSCC. Wow. It's awesome. I love it.
It's phenomenal.
And because it's hard, people think that, doing covers is kind of the easy game of gigging. No, no, it's not. It's hard to do it really, really well. And HSC do it really, really well.
They really do.
Tell me about your involvement, because I think you said to me you've been with them for a long time before I saw you.
Yeah, well, actually, no, I haven't. So I've only started with the Hindley Street Country Club this year in April.
Oh. Where's my information coming from? Dearie me.
No. It's because the lead singer, Kat Jade, and I, we've known each other for a very long time. So maybe you kind of saw that connection somewhere along the line.
Maybe.
But yeah, I've been working on this since April. I've really been enjoying the process of being in the studio and recording the backing vocals. It's been really fun. But yeah, it's just, I think it was a connection from Kat because I know her quite well. They needed someone to sing on these tracks. And I went in and I had 3 tracks to do that evening for the first time. And I just thought to myself, you better nail this, nail it. And so it was a little bit of pressure, but it was good for me. I really enjoyed having to have something different to work towards. So yeah, it was lovely.
Can I can I tell you, the song I saw you do, you nailed it, girlfriend. Like it was,
Thank
like,
you.
and we were talking before the show started. You know, it's a real skill to as a BV, backing vocalist, to put your voice in. I often think of it as like in the slipstream of the lead vocal, so that in no way are you getting out front, but you are there is so much complementary behavior going on vocally. And seriously, that's what I observed and heard. It was awesome.
Oh, thank you. I really enjoy that. I love even just, not just in singing, but in life, working as a group in teams, collaborating. It's something I've always really enjoyed. So yeah, being able to sing with other singers and create something together, I just find incredible. I really, really, really enjoy that process. And I love listening to other singers, as that's my job.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why it's also quite instinctive, because I've listened to a lot of voices over the years. So I can feel like, in a sense, it's instinctive knowing where that person's going to go with their voice, because I've had experience of listening to voices for over 20 years now. So that's obviously quite helpful.
Yeah.
But with the Hindley Street Country Club in particular, Kat and I worked together many years ago, and we've sung a lot of harmony work together. And I do feel our voices are naturally complementary anyway. So in terms of that, it felt like just an easy kind of like, go in, I know what Kat's going to do, I know her voice so well. So that was definitely, made it a lot easier.
Yeah.
But we did a lot of wedding singing together back in the day. We were in a vocal ensemble with 5 girls, so a lot of harmony work there. And also I am still in an Andrew Sisters tribute act that I do a lot of work in. Yeah, and I mean, if you're going to want to polish harmony singing and skills, that is that's
the genre
environment to do that in, because that's all you do, and it's all about listening to the other person. And making it, like you said, complementary, so you're not overriding that other singer, and it's one whole sound. So I really enjoy harmony singing. Really enjoy it.
There's a couple of things. Did I just catch your South Australian pronunciation of, is it Hindley Street Country Club?
Yes, Hindley Street.
Not Hindley. like I have been saying forever.
Oh, there you go, for all the non-Adelaideans.
All the non-Adelaideans. For our international viewers, South Australia is the only different colloquial. What do we call it? What do you call it when you've got an accent? Yes, we don't really have regional accents in Australia, except for South Australia.
Apparently, it's just us. We can't hear it.
You can't hear it. I do want to ask just one more question about Hindley Street Country Club. It'll take a while. Are you recording that? Like, are you recording it live? Because I could see you're all on ears, right?
Correct. Yeah. So we're all on ears. Everything's been tracked individually, and we record live. So that's why we have to have one complete take where no one really makes a mistake. Yeah. Which is quite a lot of pressure.
It's super pressure.
It is. When I went to the first session, I just said to myself, I am not going to be the one tonight that stops the track for a second take. And I managed to achieve that, so I was happy.
Really? That's impressive as the newcomer. Very impressive.
I was like, nope, I'm going to know what I'm doing, and I'm going to rock up. And look, that's part of the job, isn't it? Yeah. You need to be on your, I was going to say something then.
Yeah.
Stuff. Be on your stuff and just rock up and just smash it and do a good job.
I take it then it's all then mixed down in post after the fact. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Cool.
Correct. Yeah.
Cool. That's what I thought was going on, but I just wanted to check.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's pretty cool.
It's very cool. Very cool. Everyone, if you haven't seen Hindley Street Country Club before, go and check them out. They are awesome. And I think the band tours too, don't they?
They do. They have their regular lineup that they take on tour.
Yeah.
So I think next year they're doing a Europe tour.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, they've been to the America this year as well. So they've got quite massive audiences into overseas. Sorry.
And is the lead, like the guy that runs the band, is he on bass?
That's Con. That's correct.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a bald dude, everyone. He's very cool. Bass players are cool.
Great vibe when he plays, doesn't he?
So smooth. Anyway, I want to talk sort of now a bit more about you and your career, and so for everyone watching, as I think we kind of intimated before, is that you are not just a singer, but also a very experienced singing teacher. Tell me about how you got into your career as teaching and what has sort of kept you going with it.
Well, it started quite a while ago now, but I didn't really have any intention of becoming a singing teacher at all, to be honest. And I remember I would have been probably 19 at the time. I had a phone call from one of the instrumental music teachers at my high school, who I hadn't heard from for years. He opened up a music shop and he said to me, "I remember you from school, and you had a great voice. Do you want to teach singing at my shop?" And my mum used to say to me, "Don't ever say no to an opportunity. If you're unsure, just say yes and give it a go." So it was that long ago that I remember it was on the landline at home that he called me. And I just went, all right, I'll do it. Why not? So I went and I taught there for probably about a year or so. And while I was doing that, I then picked up a couple of schools and taught there. Realised I didn't really know anything about singing teaching, which was,
there's nothing like starting to teach to learn that you don't know anything about teaching voice, is there?
I knew absolutely nothing, but I was having so much fun. I was like, well, maybe I should learn how to actually do this properly.
Yeah.
So it was then when I actually started working at Leanne Hode's singing studio, the one we were talking about before.
Yeah.
And she had this really great training program that she put all of her teachers through, which was focused a lot about voice science, vocal anatomy, how the voice actually works and functions, which was fantastic, not using imagery and that type of thing, which for me, just the way I learn and see things, I found that really helpful.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot while I was teaching her under her, and I also learned a lot about business because she was such a phenomenal businesswoman at the time. She really did such a great job with running Adelaide's only singing studio at the time. So all the other vocal coaches were integrated into music shops or
yes.
music schools as such, and she was the only person that went, no, I'm only going to do singing. And I really looked up to her. I thought she was phenomenal. So then while I was teaching there, I was also working in music retail as well. So did a bit of Alan's music back in the day. And then, from there I went, all right, maybe I should actually just go study music. So I studied music in my early mid-20s. So I was still quite late when I started my study. At the time with Adelaide, we didn't have a degree that did commercial or contemporary music. We only had classical or jazz here. So I went to TAFE and I did the Advanced Diploma of Music there, which I really enjoyed because it gave me a really good handle on lots of different styles of music. And that's kind of how I started off, really. So I could talk for ages.
Yeah, I know. And then just recently, you've gone down the road of speech pathology. You're actually about to finish your speech pathology degree.
Yes, it's been a long road. So I started the speech pathology degree in 2020. So as I mentioned before, I really enjoyed the voice science side of things. As well as, it's been over 20 years since I've been teaching. I've seen so many clients that have come in with vocal injuries, and vocal health was something that just really interested me in general.
Yeah.
Having a lot of clients that then had to go to the ear, nose and throat specialist, the laryngologist, and then have speech therapy before coming back to lessons with me, I thought, well, I would love to be able to cut out the middleman and be able to offer that to them, so they feel like they're getting all of that service in-house.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like it's just increases your knowledge
Yeah.
of voice a lot
Yes.
as well, having to know all about the all different elements of speech path. So yeah, it's been really great and I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's been challenging going back as a mature age student though.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I didn't realise that I had a thing called brain fog until I sat next to a 21-year-old in my last placement, and then I went, okay, no, I can see them as sharp as they are, but that's okay.
I know, but where they bring sharpness, you know, those of us of a few more years bring a little bit more life experience. So I think it kind of all balances out in the end. I wonder.
That's true.
I want to throw or pose the question to you, because you are, you know, very active as a, you know, as you're doing the gigging thing. You're very active in your studio. You're telling me before the show that you teach 4 days a week. What are you, when you think about that holistically, what do you think both bring to the other, as far as, you know, what you do in your teaching? What does that bring to your gigging, and
Yeah.
vice versa?
For me, I think the minute I have a break from teaching, so I notice a decline in my own voice. And that's
Interesting.
because being a teacher for so long, I haven't really, which guilty, and I, you know, do as I say, not as I do, but I haven't really sat down and practiced warm-ups and that type of thing for a very long time. But that's because I'm constantly doing that in my sessions. So
Yeah.
teaching actually keeps my voice really healthy.
Yes.
It makes me check in on my voice every day, because I have to have a great, healthy voice in order to be able to demonstrate things to students.
Yes.
So I actually find the teaching complementary to my vocal health. Sometimes the vocal load becomes too much, which, you know, is like with anything in life.
Yep.
So being able to manage that vocal load is really important for me, especially if I've got, you know, 2 or 3 gigs on a weekend, which doesn't generally happen a lot these days. I'm getting a bit older now, but look, I just think that side of it's very complimentary, and just keeping me, you know, up to date with the latest techniques and songs that come out that I probably should learn, because students have brought them into sessions and I don't really listen to the radio when I drive home, because my brain doesn't want to listen to music anymore. So
I am so glad to hear you say that, because that is me. I admit it. The last thing I want to do when I hop into the car is listen to more singing. I don't think there are many more people on the planet that love singing more than I do. I'm talking to one right now, but my ears have a limit, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
100% they do. So
Yeah.
I'm often on, like, listening to a podcast or something like that, or
Yeah.
I'm learning a song for a gig that I have to do in the car.
Yes.
I don't often listen to the radio and hear new things that come out. So when people bring in these songs, it's great, because then I think, oh, maybe I should actually learn that for myself as well as being able to teach them. So yeah, the teaching I find is very complementary to the gigging. Yeah. If you know how to manage your vocal load, then I think it's great.
Yeah. Let me throw you another question, which kind of furthers the question you've just answered, and that is, what would singing teacher Tania want to say to early gigging Tania? So singing teacher now talking to 20-year-old gigging Tania, what is she going to tell her?
I think the first thing I would say would be to stop comparing yourself to other singers.
Wow. That you took that in a direction I did not expect, but I'm so pleased you did. Yeah.
Because I feel like that instinctively we all do that. We have voices that we really like the sound of, and someone that might be working with you might have that voice and you don't have that particular voice or suit that style that you might really want to be able to do well. So I think that it's destructive. I don't think it's healthy, and it stops you from knowing who you are and what you're really capable of. So that would be the first thing I would probably say to someone younger is, stop the comparison game.
Yeah, I love that. What about, what would be the next thing that you would say?
The next thing I would say is make sure you continue to work on your voice and your vocal technique. What I've found as a singer is that the more versatile you can be, the more employable you are. And that's as somebody that works in, the cover scene and tribute scene. If you're an original artist, that's probably, you can have your own sound and that's completely fine. You still have your own sound as a cover artist as well, but being able to be versatile is really important, and being able to sing harmonies and music theory, being able to communicate with your band members is really, really important. And I think when people come in for sessions with me, they often will go, oh, I love singing, I want to make an income out of it. Right, go, show me what to do, go. It's like, all right, we're going to 2 years. But first of all, a lot of them don't want to learn music theory, which I find really interesting. But it's actually a way of communicating, and I think it's essential for performers and singers to be able to do that, even in the world of musical theatre, for example, as well. So, that would kind of be the advice I would give to someone starting out. And to myself, yes, I think the comparison thing was a big thing for me. So it took me a while to get to that, to be honest.
I find something that a lot of singers who might walk in and sit in my studio and say the very same thing to me, I often find that I will then respond with a follow-up question to them to say, well, firstly, who are you listening to? And it's surprising to me the blank stare I often get back, that there's not enough listening going on. Like, no, I know the irony of me saying that is me telling everyone that I'm not listening to the radio in the car. That's because I do a lot of listening in the studio 8 hours a day. But the point being is that there's not enough active listening happening. And and if I could go back into and talk to my younger self, I would be telling my younger self, you need to listen more widely. Yeah, listen, be more eclectic. And we're in an age where eclectic listening is so easy. Like Spotify, right?
Correct.
Like, wow.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. And I think that's why when I got asked to do the Hindley Street Country Club stuff, I found that really valuable, because it now makes and forces me to listen to music that I haven't heard for such a long time, but I have to listen to it in incredible detail to be able to get like those nuances that are on those tracks. Because when you're doing that kind of work, people want to hear what's as close to the original as possible, but with your own flair. So having an excuse to sit down and have to listen to something that intensely again was really great, because we did that with the Andrew Sisters stuff. So we ambulance going by. Did you hear that one?
I heard it.
So with the Andrew Sisters, we actually didn't learn a lot of the songs from charts. We sat down and listened to the original recordings and tried to pick out those harmonies by ear. So we did most of it pretty well. Some of it wasn't as great, but it forced us to listen to the style and their phrasing and how they blend their voices. So you're 100% correct. It's so essential.
And I think what you just described there is the key difference between passive listening, which is what most people are doing, and active listening. Really trying to get down into the subtext of what's going on orally, and pulling harmonies out. I bet that was a challenging task to do that with the Andrew Sisters.
Oh, it was, because, and I say was, still is if we have a new song, because Patty often, she will sing the melody, but then Maxine is the sister that's on top of most of the time. But if the melody goes up, she then can't stay above, so she comes down, and they often interweave, and it's hard to really hear because they sound tonally very similar.
Right.
Which girl's doing which part, so it's really tricky. Myself and the other girl that does Maxine's parts, Shelley, we find that really tricky. Sometimes we would have learnt something and I'm like, no, that's not right. Hang on a second. I'm supposed to be doing that bit because that's a melody. But it's great. It's good for your ears. It's
Good
really
for your ears. I, you know, as I'm talking, as we're talking about this, I'm thinking about really what we're talking about is the work aspect of singing, right? And the fact that for those who do want to do this vocationally, not just you know, avocationally, there is some blood, sweat, and tears that have to be applied. But in that, it can be a bit of a challenge to hold on to that artistic passion because it becomes work. What do you do to maintain your sense of passion for the fact that your life is so full of the music?
I don't feel like I have to try very hard because I just really enjoy my job. So I know that sounds really cheesy and corny, but I just love it. But I think now that I'm a bit more experienced and I have more opportunities, I don't say yes to things that I don't feel that passionate about anymore, because as you get older, you run out of a bit more steam. So you do tend to start become a bit more overwhelmed. And so I think that if you have that opportunity to say no to things that you don't love, once you've built that experience, I feel like that's really essential to say, because I think some people want to do that straight away, and I don't think that that's necessarily the smartest thing to do when you're starting out, because having exposure to lots of different opportunities is really great for your learning. But once you're a bit more solid, I feel like saying no to some things that you don't love keeps that passion alive, because you're doing things that you really enjoy. Like the Andrew Sisters thing I've been doing since 2000 and well, for this particular lineup, 2018, but we started before that, and we just only last year did we take it on tour for the first time interstate. So it's taken that long to get the product up to that standard where I felt it was ready, because in a sense we're all doing this part-time because we all have other jobs that we do as well. There was also things that I had to learn for the show that weren't natural to me, like doing some choreography and some tap dancing. That was interesting, but yeah, keeping it interesting, keeping it, learning some new skills. That's always something I love learning. So anything that keeps me doing something new and developing my skills, I always just find motivating. So,
Mr. Fomiardi has just asked, how important is it, and this is kind of leading on from what we're talking about, how important is it to sing songs you actually enjoy? And that's a hard question, because sometimes, particularly if you're doing covers, you're not always going to be singing what you would personally choose to sing. Yeah?
That's true. Yeah, I think, look, singing for yourself is something you shouldn't ever lose. So if you have the time to just go into your, old school styles bedroom with a hairbrush and just belt out some tunes for the love of it, go for it. I think that's really important. But I've also grown to love a lot of music that I wouldn't necessarily have loved before, because I was exposed, because I had to learn it for a show. So I think it's important to sing songs you really enjoy, but also there's a part of the job where you have to sing things that you really don't like as well. And then you have to pretend that you enjoy it and make the audience believe that you do.
That's the bit, right? Right there.
It
is it because the audience don't care whether you like it or not?
Correct.
Hey, I wonder whether you might take a moment to walk us through your gigging preparation. I know some people have a really dedicated warm-up regime that they apply. How do you approach your gig day, so to speak?
Well, for me, it's about being really, I find hydration a big issue if I haven't been sticking to a good regime with my hydration. As you can see, I've been drinking my water as we've been going along. So I definitely am very mindful of hydration. I also don't drink a lot of alcohol in general these days, and I find that my voice has been better since I've been cutting back on the alcohol. So I don't drink at all on gig days. So I'm quite a boring, boring cover band singer. I don't have any alcohol at my gigs. But in terms of vocal warm-up or regime, I don't really do much because I know that the vocal load from the show is going to be heavy most of the time. And I'm trying to conserve my voice. So, and this is what I say to my students as well. Why would I go and do half an hour of like, and belt out my voice? That's half an hour of vocal load I haven't conserved. I've already used. So all I ever do before I go on stage is some sirens, just to get the ligaments and the muscles and everything moving and stretching. And then I'm a big fan of Estill voice training. And I like to open up my false vocal folds and do a bit of what I call retracted breathing. So breathing in and out with the false vocal folds open, just to get everything open and ready to sing. But also I find it quite relaxing as well. Yeah, I find it really relaxing and calming for any anxiety that I might have.
Do you find yourself doing any cool downs, like after a long gig?
Yep, so I often do a cool down. So I'm a soprano, so if I am doing lots of BVs, I'm always up there. So my larynx is kind of stuck up the top for a long time at gigs. And then when I get off stage, I feel like it's really tight and stuck up there. It's been up there for like 3 hours straight.
As a tenor, I can relate. Yep.
And then your speaking voice, you go, oh God, what's happened to my speaking voice? I need my larynx to come back down to a mid position for speaking.
Yes.
So I like to do some sobbing, so just to get my larynx back down and really gentle stretching of the vocal folds. And that's all I do, and that's it. Yeah, I don't do a lot.
Yeah.
But it's consistent.
It's what, sorry?
It's consistent.
It's consistent, yeah. I've made this comment on the channel before, and that is, there's no magic way to warm up and cool down. Sometimes you'll come across online, people going, this is the best warm up or whatever. Actually, the best warm up is the one, and the cool down are the ones that you do.
Correct.
Just do it, people. We've actually got to do them. And there are always circumstances, aren't there, where time gets in there and you don't get the opportunity to do it. But that should be the exception, not the rule.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah. When I just want to go to my notes here because I want to ask, there was a question here that I had in thinking about the diversity of the genres that you have performed. How do you allow that diversity to inform your adaptability and vocal flexibility, or are you doing things intentionally with vocal flexibility and adaptability to inform your diversity of singing?
I think my choices when I'm singing things that are more out of my comfort zone are definitely intentional.
Yeah.
And I think, look, people have so many like vocal techniques and things that work for them. I'm not trying to plug Estill or anything, but that is what I go to for this type of work, because I've just found it really useful in giving that sound a name and a setup. And that's what you need for cover gigs, because you want to emulate that sound as much as you can. So yeah, I do find myself going to that work just to help me go, all right, how do I get that sound? I need to sound, I don't know, high and twangy for It's a Long Way to the Top if you want to rock and roll. Random, big far from the Andrews Sisters, because I don't want to sing it. First of all, I also consider vocal health first and foremost, because I'm not prepared to risk my vocal health for a cover band gig at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I try to find healthier and alternative ways to get that sound. So, if it's A Long Way to the Top has a bit of rasp and growl in it, and for me personally, that's just not something my voice does well and can sustain. Some people just have larynxes of steel, I'm not one of those. So
no.
it's a very sensitive little instrument, my instrument, and it gets tired very quickly. So I choose options that will make it less tired.
I have a hypothesis around that.
I love to hear that because I'm interested in this.
But I do need to I need to table it as a hypothesis. This is not fact, okay? This is my observation of my own voice. Regularly hearing comments from sopranos and other tenors who express the same thing, and that is I wonder whether the tenor and the soprano voice are less able to sustain that kind of gravel and growl than our mezzo and baritone friends. I wonder whether that comes down to the level of body and vocal fold mass that they have access to.
Yes.
Hypothesis.
Okay.
Hypothesis.
I like it. How do we research this?
I don't know. I've already done my doctorate. It's your turn. There you go. There's your PhD subject. Once you finish your speech pathology, PhD.
Oh, I'm out of study, but I'm happy to be a guinea pig for you.
I can tell you it won't be me. Maybe I'm looking at Karen from Singwise. Maybe Karen can go and do her PhD. She's in the live chat at the moment. I wonder, and we kind of talked about this just a bit earlier, but as we come towards the end of our discussion, what advice would you want to give to, and this doesn't have to just be a young person, but a person who's wanting to move from avocational singing into professional vocational singing and make that step? What advice can you provide in taking those steps into the very scary yet highly rewarding and exciting road of contemporary professional vocals?
I would probably say start to learn a little bit about business.
Okay.
Because it's very often most people contract and work for themselves these days.
Yes.
So that would definitely be something I'd be encouraging if you've worked for an employer for a very long time and you're not really sure about how to run a business. I think that's something that's really, really important.
Yes.
Obviously, as I mentioned before, working with a vocal coach, I think is essential. Building that vocal stamina, learning how to manage vocal load, and really just continuing to get feedback on techniques, so important. And I also find when people come to me, they don't realise the sheer amount of repertoire they actually have to have ready before they start looking for work. So if they want to work in an acoustic duo, it's a minimum of 3 45-minute sets. So you need 50 songs that you do well before you can even think about going out and approaching, whether you want an agent or whether you do it direct to venues, whatever it is.
Yes.
I think that, that amount of repertoire that you need is really important, and having a vocal coach work through that with you is really essential.
Yeah, I know that Mila, who is currently in our live chat, who is one of my private students, she's currently getting her body of work together to have that that repertoire list, and that is, I find that building that level of repertoire, but because you've got to do a lot of singing to learn that amount of work, so that development of stamina is also a thing, and I'm always encouraging, if you don't have to learn it overnight, then don't. You need to eat this elephant a spoonful at a time, because you need time for your stamina to improve and develop. What tips have you got around that sort of vocal health issue for that singer who's doing that work?
I think when people think about vocal load and vocal health, they're purely thinking about singing.
Yeah.
but they're not actually taking into consideration how much talking or speaking they're doing throughout the day.
Answered like a true speech pathologist. Well done.
I'm getting there.
I'll sign you off. There you go. You got your degree. Tick.
I just feel like people's speaking voices
Yes.
are often
Yep.
more unhealthy in the way
Yeah.
they deliver that.
Yeah.
And they're singing because they're conscious when they're singing. They're not conscious when you're speaking. I'm probably even not as vocally healthy right now as what I could be.
Yeah.
And then if you have a job where you're talking a lot during the day and then you're having to do that gig in the evening, like, or even just rehearse or practice
Yeah.
for building that repertoire,
Yeah.
you know, that's managing your speaking voice, in my opinion, is essential.
You have to learn to walk well before you can run well, right?
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And people are just not conscious of how they speak.
Yeah.
And why would you be? You're listening to the other person? Hopefully you're not listening to yourself when you're talking to somebody else. You're listening to them.
Sometimes I wonder. Sometimes I wonder.
But I think making a habit of doing little things like recording yourself, you know, reading, or pop on the, you know, voice memo on the phone when you're having a chat with someone if they don't mind, and say, can I just record myself so I can hear how I speak?
Yes.
Get some feedback from the vocal coach.
Yes.
Learn how to use your voice healthy and manage it all over, not
Yes.
just with singing.
Yeah.
So it's really important. And there's lots of other factors like environmental factors. There's if you have other health issues that align with hoarse voice or voices that get tired, there's lots of things that happen to people.
A lot of
that
contributing
get
factors,
vocal injuries. As you know, there's many elements. It's not just, you know, went to a gig and I sung with bad technique for one night and now I've got a sore voice. There's lots of things that generally tend to build up in order for those things to happen. So really getting to know your voice, get to know it really well.
Yeah.
Like for me, that one little siren that I do every day tells me so much about my voice. It tells me if my vocal folds are swollen. It tells me if I probably should have had a better night's sleep before. Maybe I shouldn't have had that one glass of wine I had once a month last night, you know? Like, it tells me a lot. So just be really tuneful, know that voice so well.
100%. Great advice. I think it just reinforces what we often talk about here on the studio, and that is ultimately we are vocal athletes and we have to take care of ourselves in accordance with that, you know, that thought and that, the body is a temple and we need to treat it as such. Tania, I'm so pleased that you were able to come on and hang out for a period of time. And it's always good to have people come on who are at the coalface, you know, as a singer, but who also alongside that have the pedagogical knowledge, and you brought that. Is there anything anything else you want to leave us with today?
Ooh. Oh no.
A pearl of wisdom.
I don't know. I would just say, because in relation to gigging, if it's something that you're wanting to do and you haven't done it yet, and it's this burning desire, then don't be scared of it and just take those first steps. So find your vocal coach, work with someone that it has experience, and just start small. You know, be prepared to do the work, but do it. Go for it. I think why not? You know what I mean? Like I've had, and I'm totally guilty of this, students that have come in and gone, I have this vision of this particular thing, and I've gone, oh, okay, I'm not sure about that. And they have proven me wrong so many times, and I don't ever do that anymore. That was very early teaching, Tania. But point being is that, you know, if you work hard enough, I think you can do it. So go for it.
Yeah, early teacher Daniel learnt through observing a number of different people that actually talent is not the key ingredient you require.
Mm-hmm.
It's discipline and determination, and showing up. That they're the contributing factors to being able to do this thing called, you know, vocational singing. And and then you develop and work on the talent along the way. Yeah, that continues to refine.
And also those skills become stronger once you start doing it. So
yeah.
there's only certain things you can learn on the job. So if you're waiting to be perfect, you're not ever going to be.
Not
So
going to
just do
happen.
it.
You're going to be waiting at the
Exactly.
bus stop a long time.
Correct.
Tania, awesome. And I just want to give the HSCC, Hindley Street Country Club, another shout out, because I've got my first reaction video coming up on the channel of the group, and I just really the utmost professional respect to you and the gang. It's such a good sound, and the guy vocals as well, like who's the bald guy?
Oh,
Con is awesome, and the guy with the beard.
Oh, Danny, yeah, he's phenomenal. Yeah, what a voice.
The versatility of all four of you. I've only seen four of you sing on the show, so
Oh no, Danny's phenomenal. Are you talking about Jordan? Maybe the guy with the spiky hair. He was the one that did the song with Cat.
Oh, okay.
It's going to stop us now.
You're all so good. Anyway, I love it, and you can pass that on. You can tell them that Dr. Dan. They'll go, who?
I'll tell them to watch this, and they'll know.
Hey, thanks for hanging out, and yeah, we'll see each other in a green room sometime. Hey.
Yeah, I love that. Thanks so much for having me, Dan. I've had a great time.
It was good fun. Thank you. Well, there you go, folks. You know, don't we just have the most amazing people on the channel? I say it all the time. I get to the end of a conversation with a special guest, and I always say, don't we have the most amazing people on the show? It's because we do. We really do. And it's always so... I'm always just so thankful that I get to hang out with you in the live chat, but with them, our special guests, and just really sit alongside their experience and their know-how. And Tania was able to bring all of that and then some today's discussion. Next week, I think, are doing a Q&A. I say I think because now that I go to say that, I'm not 100% sure. But the only way you'll know is if you are subscribed, hit the white bell icon, and then you'll get the notification to join us 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time on a Monday. That's when we hang out. And I very much look forward to seeing you then. Have a great week, everyone, and I'll see you again soon. I'm Dr. Dan. Sing well.